Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Seth, and this is not a video for the general public other than to announce I'm back on YouTube. Yay, woo, woo. I just had a personal message that I had to get across because this is going to be the last time I'm more than likely going to be able to communicate in a way that this specific individual will find. I wanted to say a few things, get them off my chest, and have a open and honest conversation because of the situation I was put in. So, for those of you that don't know, here's the timeline of events. When I left YouTube, my girlfriend broke up with me, slept with another guy. We got back together. We had a rough patch in the beginning. It got better, then it got way worse, and we have been through like hell and back like 5 times since then. I decided to end the relationship. I just couldn't take it anymore. It got to the point where I was putting in all the work, and it was absolutely outrageous. So I wanted to say a few things because I feel like I've earned at least to be heard. I feel I've earned that. I understand everything I've done has bought me nothing up until this point, but I feel like I deserve to be heard. So, as for why we broke up, and you can say whatever you want, you can blame me, you can, twist anything you want. The reason we broke up was because you would not put any effort into making anything work, or give up, or do literally anything to have any sort of, common ground to, what's that C word, What is that C word? That means you need to compromise, and we never did that. It was always me giving up everything and you giving up nothing, and you wanted to do whatever you wanted to do. It's like you wanted to go around and fuck other guys. You know what? You should be allowed to, but, you got jealous over everything with me. It was insane. It's so droning and just awful to be a part of. Honestly, just so awful to be in that situation. I'm not kidding when I say how awful it was. Because it's like, you did all this stuff, and then you talk about things I say, and you said I was untrustworthy, which is an absolute joke. Because so far, 0 people slept with that weren't you during this whole stretch. So the fact that's the case, and you have any ground to stand on, would be an absolute joke. Here's what I will tell you. I knew we got to a point where we could not be fixed when you did the same thing repeatedly. You did the same thing every single time at the end. And here's what you did. Every time I said I was going to leave, you would say how it was your fault. You would beg me not to go. You would say all this stuff. And then the next time we would talk, after I would cool down and say, okay, we'll work on it, we'll be okay, the next time we would talk, you would turn it around and blame it all on me. Because you'd be like, oh, you said this, you said you were going to leave, I can't just get over this, blah, 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 blah. Every single time. So you would not take ownership for anything that you caused, or anything that you did, or anything that you said. But I'm supposed to take ownership for everything. And you can go back to almost every single fight we've had where I said I'm done. Almost every single one ended the exact same way. You begged me not to go. You wasted more of my time. And then you told me how you needed to work on stuff and how you were changing and you were trying to be better. And then the next day, literally the next day, you would be like, oh, well, you said this and did this and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden it would be my issue. You literally blamed me for you sleeping with someone because I went over to a friend's house. What? Are you kidding me? It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And the way you've treated me has been absolutely awful. So, honestly, if you can't tell, I'm in a good spot. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm good, glad to be away from this. It's so toxic. It's so terrible. it was so awful on me. I know all your friends are going to spin it and say how bad I was, just like all my friends are going to spin it and say what a joke you were. I mean, in my opinion, you were the one that caused most of this, just repeatedly. I mean, if I went and I just said everything you did and said, I doubt I would find many people that agreed. Like, if I just printed out, no context, what you did and said versus what I did and said, I'm pretty sure everyone would be siding with me. I could care any less. Frankly, I'm just happy to be away from this whole situation. But I want you to understand that I'm not upset with you. I'm not anything about any of this. Like, I'm emotionally detached from the situation. It doesn't bother me. What I do want you to know is that I really hope you change. For the sake of whoever you're with in the future, there is not going to be people that put up with the way you treat people. It's an absolute joke. And when I first met you, I remember meeting a shy girl who couldn't do anything on her own, and through college and everything, I watched you grow, and I watched you become someone who was independent and strong-willed, and that was amazing. And then you also grew into someone that I could not imagine spending the rest of my life with, and that's the God-honest truth. And those two things didn't have to be mutually connected in any way. I think it was just coincidence that both of those things happened, because I like independence, and I like being strong, and I like you doing your own thing and me doing my own thing from time to time. What I don't like, what I'm not a huge fan of, is the way you think that means you can treat me, and the way you think all of this, you think you can do whatever you want, and there should be no repercussions for you, but I'm supposed to, like, live in a bubble or something. I don't know. It's really kind of, like, bizarre to me. I don't know what you expect me to do. I mean, you got mad at me for hanging out with a friend while you were on a boat eating ice cream with your friends. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here, honestly. But the whole situation, like, everything with you has just been an absolute heartache and just awful for me. So I'm good to be done. We will never, this is it. Like, I would never, ever even consider dating you. I'm emotionally done with it. I'm ready for someone else, someone that cares about me, which is something I haven't had for the past 5 years. Someone that cares about, the same things I do. Someone that wants to work on stuff, compromise, do some stuff with me, like, I just want to be in a relationship where, like, both people care, and I don't think that's asking all that much. Personally, I think there would be plenty of takers. I mean, the other night I went out to dinner with my friend, and you know who she is, but newish friend. And God, it was amazing. It was so amazing because there's no pressure, there's nothing, and she, you know what she didn't do? She didn't just randomly ruin the night like you always do. Like, you would do this so many times in the course of our relationship where you would just ruin the night. Like, something would set you off and you would just not talk, or you would just make it miserable to be around you. And for so long, I just let you get away with that. No other guy's going to put up with that. None. There's not one. Not one dude. Not a decent dude, anyways. You might get a nice hotel boy or something, but that's about it. The way you treat people, like, really needs to change. I hope for your sake it does. You would take, if you had a bad day, you would take it out on me, like, all the time. And it was crazy. Like, it was absolutely insane. Like, anytime you had a bad day, I could guarantee it was taken out on me. Every single one. I knew if you had a bad day. I didn't need to ask, because you were being a dick to me. So, that's just where I am with all that. But I'm literally so happy to be done with this. It was so toxic. It was so terrible. every single thing that you can possibly imagine. I tried. Eventually, like I said, when it got to the point where everything just kept getting turned back on me, and it was like, you would say that you understood you had a problem and you need to work on it, and then it would be me. You out of nowhere, you blame me for you fucking another guy. Like, come on. Like, this is absurd. Like, this is literally dumb. Like, what are we doing? So yeah, I literally had so much fun the other night, just hanging out with another girl, just having dinner, having a conversation, not having it be just absolutely awful. And you know what? I literally would have been fine, but you just kept making it. I don't think you wanted it to be good. I don't think you wanted to be with me. And really, it feels like I wasted 5 years of my life, and I did. I mean, the last 5 years were a complete waste, and if I could go back, I would have never dated you. So that's unfortunate. There was no good that came out of it. Like, you basically just stole a car and, like, stole a bunch of clothes and, stole a ring and, lying goes with stealing, I guess, You lied to me so much, it was absolutely insane. And honestly, it's just unfortunate how everything played out. And it's so sad that you grew into this person, because you were at one point a good person. And I know that because I knew you. And now I don't. I don't know what you are. I just know it's not good. And I hope for your sake you change and find who you used to be. And the best of luck to you. I really do hope that you find someone who's actually decent, and I hope you treat them the exact opposite of how you treated me, if I'm honest with you. I hope you're actually willing to work on stuff and everything else that goes along with it. Either way, guys, I'm back on YouTube part-time, and you guys will get an update from me soon. I can't do this anymore. So goodbye, Sarah. Peace. Best of luck to you. Like I said, I mean, honestly, I'm just so good with it being done. Like, I'm so good with it. Like, I can't possibly describe how happy I am that this is over at this point, because, oh my God, was it just, it was brutal to be a part of. And just the fact that I kept trying and you just wouldn't, you refused. You refused to put in any effort at all. Anything that required any effort, you would not put in. You would not try. So, I'm glad it's over now, and I can stop wasting my time. All right. For all the people that haven't seen me in like a year, I love you guys for sticking around. I will have an update video coming up soon and explaining what my plans are for this YouTube channel. So check that out. Check twitch.tv/clevergames if you want to see me go live. I usually stream a few times a week, so I usually do a decent stream on the weekend. So it's fun times. Love you guys. Bye.